So I'm down here in Welding. It's Wednesday afternoon, and I just got the call. Mr. Mathis and Mr. Gross, they need this new shear wired. So we've got to run a branch circuit and a feeder circuit over to this new shear. And what this does is it basically, if you think of it, it's a big paper cutter, except it cuts large sheets of metal like you would see here. So obviously it's a fairly substantial piece of equipment. And I'm going to come up over here, and you guys can see up at the top, this is the electric motor that feeds it. And I am looking at the motor nameplate. It's kind of tough, I know, for you guys to see in the video, but it is a 20 horsepower motor, and it's going to be powered with 480 volts. And so I'm going to have you answer a couple questions by looking at this motor. So now I'm down in the boiler room, and the ISD is looking at replacing this big air compressor here. This one's getting kind of old, and again, we've got a 480 volt motor here. This one is a 10 horsepower motor. So if we replace this with another 10 horsepower motor, how big of fuses and things are we going to need for this one? And the last motor here, you can see this one's easy to see the nameplate. So you can get all the information that you need, and we're going to go ahead for this one. We're going to determine what size controller we're going to need. So there's our motor control, and there's our disconnect, and I'd like to get a combination disconnect, motor starter, and an overload unit. So I would like you to determine that based off the information you can see in this nameplate.